Hello, my name is Allie Davis, and today we'll be talking about my learning community experiences. Here's the table of contents, all the topics we'll be covering today. During my interview, I interviewed Trista Brannon, and she is a 4th grade teacher at Lula Ross Elementary School. We covered many great topics during our interview, but the topics that I felt were most interesting and covered a lot were field trips and good grammar. I found field trips to be very interesting because she explained to me that students are able to connect what they learned in the classroom to real-world experiences. For example, when students are going through their science kits and everything, they're able to go to Abbott's Mill and they're able to connect what they learned there, maybe about insects, and they're able to see insects when they go to Abbott's Mill and stuff like that. She also explained that when they go places like Washington, D.C., students usually don't have that opportunity. So it's very amazing that they get that opportunity to do that through school. Classroom observations. When I was observing in classrooms, I noticed that Spanish immersion is becoming very popular throughout Delaware for elementary schools. And I thought this was very beneficial for students because they're able to learn a different language at such a young age. And I think that's very neat because I think it's easier for younger students to be able to learn a different language rather than starting at the high school level or college level. I think that they're able to absorb more information and it'll just stick with them, and they'll have better job opportunities one day because they'll have so much of that background knowledge, and it'll be easier for them when they do get to the high school level to take those courses. Literacy strategies. A literacy strategy that I found to be most interesting was when students, it's good for people to read to children who can't necessarily read yet, meaning they're too young to read yet, or they're struggling a bit, just because when they're hearing a book being read to them, they're getting more familiar with words and they're broadening their vocabulary. So when they are learning to read, they see the words and they hear them, and it's easier for them because they kind of already have an understanding for it. Also, when you're reading to children who can't read, they're looking at the words as well, and they're seeing how sentences should be formed. They're understanding how the correct way to read a book. So there's many benefits of reading to children who can't read yet that'll help them in the long run. For my e-portfolio, I was able to create a lesson plan, and this lesson plan, I was also able to stand up in front of my peers and teach the lesson to them and have them do an activity with it. And I thought this was very beneficial because when I do have to create a lesson plan one day in the future, I will already have an understanding for it. And because I did have to stand up in front of my peers, I'm already comfortable with standing up in front of other people and speaking. So there was a lot of good outcomes that came from this project. Along with my lesson plan, I also did tools for organization, tools to facilitate student learning, and creation of a formative assessment. And for these different topics, I had to find different websites that go along with them. For tools for organization, I chose the website Participate. Tools to facilitate student learning, I use Popplet, and formative assessment, I use Google. And for all these different websites, I was able to explore. They kind of helped me have an understanding for what keeps me organized, what can help me keep students engaged, what can help me create lessons, what can help me keep parents connected in the classroom. So all of these different websites are going to be very helpful to me one day, and it's nice that I already have a list of different websites that I know what I can use for different things. So it's kind of giving me like a few steps ahead, For research, my research question was, is standardized testing an effective way to measure student success? And this topic really opened my eyes because I was able to see that a lot of teachers are teaching to the test. They're not necessarily teaching everything that the student should know, which it's not going to benefit the student in the long run. It's really only going to benefit the teacher because they're going to perform really well in the test because they're going to have all the information they need to know for the test. But it's not going to help the students out. What will help the students out is teaching the students everything that they need to know. Also teaching them good test taking skills, giving them tips on how to prepare to take a test, what they should look for when taking a test, kind of if it's multiple choice, how to eliminate choices, just things to help the student out and kind of teach them everything that they need to know. For my next few steps, I plan to graduate Del Tech and get my associate's degree. I plan to hopefully attend Wilmington University where I'll get my bachelor's degree and hopefully become a teacher after that. And in the meantime, I can plan to continue to substitute teaching at my local elementary schools. Thank you.